Hello, everybody, and hello, Gengar, and welcome to Steakdorra the Explorers, the final week where we recap REL 1 and 2A in Season 14. We get to say our final goodbyes for the next 6 weeks or so at the end of this episode.
Yep, Dobby's a free elf.
We have a match to watch. I mean, most people probably are aware of the results, given that people are paying attention pretty closely to who makes playoffs and that sort of thing, because people care about that. But there was one match that we pointed out last week that had super big implications for both coaches, and that was 1 versus 2 in REL 2A. So we have the Lackland Longtongues by Urs and the All-Stars of Chaos from Locust Cosecant. It's number 1 versus number 2. Winner locks their spot. Loser might get knocked out. And then that also has implications for the other people that are trying to fill in that last, the third playoff spot, which could be Atomics or Kilrick, and their matches going certain ways means it could be decided by touchdown differential and all that sort of thing. So it's all exciting and stuff. And I'm sure most people know the result by now, but we're going to watch the match that kind of like solidified the results for the division. Then we'll see, the final results from the final week. We'll see who won our tipping comp, and maybe do a very brief little preview of who our playoff coaches are and who they're playing in the first round. Sound good, everyone out there? Sound good, Shadorra?
Yeah, sounds good to me, friend.
Friend,
buddy.
Well, you'll see 2 of the potential playoff coaches from REL 2A in the match we're about to watch. Shall we get into it, I guess?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oop. I'm ready to go if you are ready to go.
Countdown.
3, 2, 1, go. We have Urs playing Lizards, the Lackland Longtongues, and we have Locust, the All-Stars of Chaos, playing Chaos. This should be interesting. Urs has taken a second Apo.
All Urs needs to do is survive. Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, both a tie or a win here locks him for playoffs. A loss makes things weird, but it doesn't ruin his chances by any stretch. It just means that it's not definitely locked. I think the same goes for Locust, given that he's only 1 point behind. The problem for Urs here, so Urs has some pretty super skinks, right? He's got a 1-turner skink. He had an Agi one. There it is. It's back there. His Saurus are less good because they keep dying. Note that he has a Loner Saurus, in fact. So he induced the Loner Saurus, and he's also induced Slibbly and an Apo. That's how much TV he's down, because his whole team are these skinks. Locust is a Chaos team. That sounds boring, but, it is what it is. He does play... Gengar is here. I wouldn't say he plays Gengar-like. He's not a piling on Tomb Guardian full team of dirty players type removal coach, but he definitely overcommits to removal sometimes. He plays for the removals, certainly, is often his game plan. So Urs pretty weak to that, given that he doesn't have any Saurus. But his skinks are very good, which sort of makes up for that a little bit, because Locust doesn't necessarily have the tools to stop those skinks, so we'll see how it goes. But
burned to 1 on the catch, so
Urs does need to or does have the skinks, and he does need to sort of survive. The more Saurus he can get through this not dead, the better, considering he's likely to go to playoffs. You may also note I've finally gotten around to doing the fancy, REBBL pitch mods and stuff, where I have the REBBL logo and the ads and that kind of thing.
I'm proud of you.
Figured I should, step things up a little bit for playoffs. Although all the playoff matches so far are either instantly taken or scheduled at a time that I can't do, which is certainly not hard at all. It takes 30 seconds.
KO on the line blocks, so.
All you have to do is find your Blood Bowl install folder, under your Steam Games folder, essentially, and then replace a couple files that the modders can provide to you. They should be lying around in the modding channel somewhere. It's very simple. Yeah, there's a lot tomorrow. I've been looking. I try to get a hold of some of them, but most of the ones tomorrow are either taken or scheduled while I'm at work, so Haven't managed to get my name on a cast yet, but we'll see. So you can sort of see what I mean here. Locus is committing a lot of his players kind of right away, just trying to get a punch on the Crocs. It's working, considering the Crocs just got stunned. However, the Skink is midway upfield, and there are 0 players on the right so far. Like, it would be so easy for Urs to run up, sideline cage, and to, like, you know, score in 2 turns, which is something he does a lot. Like, I've seen him play many games doing that. Which does mean he scores and gets a touchdown, but it, you know, we then immediately go on defense where you're just going to get punched by chaos again. So you've got to kind of decide, you know, strike that balance, certainly.
Yeah, immediately goes for the wrestle tackle. Smart move.
It's the biggest Skink threat, you know, strength 4 blitz, plus, so one assist and then wrestle tackle is a 3-die with wrestle tackle on the Skink, which is, not quite guaranteed to knock the Skink over, but as close as you can get, really. Excellent. Well, hope things go well for you, Gengar. Hope things go well for you in the playoffs, too. No spoilers, as it has not been 24 hours since your game, but your game has been played today. And my prediction bracket had you, because my girlfriend liked the name Iron Madden, so there you go. 48 hours, whatever. It hasn't been 24 hours either, which is a subset of 48 hours, so I'm still right.
Technically correct. The best kind of Ben, correct?
Exactly. There's a Saurus down.
Down and out.
He's okay, though, which is really what Urs wants.
No Appo, which shows you exactly how much Urs cares about winning you at this game, with 2 Appos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he loses, it's not good. Like, he has a chance of getting knocked out of playoffs from first place if he loses this game. But really,
is the chance effectively 0?
No, but it's not effectively 0. But it's not great. It's not like high.
Is it 0 a Jace?
Yeah, it'd be like I think it's like sub 10 or something like that. So it's, I don't know the numbers exactly, but I'm just kind of roughly guesstimating. I just know it's still possible. In reality, a tie is a win for him here. Like, a tie where he loses not many players is better than a win, probably. Or is it definitely, if the win is going to cost you more. Yeah, that's it. Urs says he has to lose by 2. So it's got to be like a 2-0 victory. So as long as you score once, it's pretty unlikely that the Chaos beat you 3-1, even if they do remove your whole team. And scoring once with these Skinks isn't terribly difficult, I would imagine.
No.
Especially given you can see exactly, like, Locus does that. Like, this is the most, like, stereotypical game from both coaches I can imagine. Like, almost every game I've ever watched from Urs has a Skinks, like, sideline caging or, like, screening off and, like, scoring in 2 or 3 turns with these, like, super Skinks. And almost every game I've watched from Locus has him smash his whole team into one side of the enemy and kill it while getting scored on. So it's like, it's super stereotypical, but it's kind of funny. Like, it's exactly what you'd expect. I only got to see some of the game, unfortunately, because today was big long meeting day, and the game was scheduled for literally the moment my meeting started. And then I had like 3 hours of meetings.
Big oof.
So, you know, thankfully I'm working from home, so whenever I was not directly involved, I kind of like tuned in for a couple of minutes, but I only caught, you know, a minute here, a minute there sort of thing. Foul on Slibbly results in nothing, and we uphill and get skulled. Double skull uphill is a thing that you don't see very often.
Oh, that's true.
So we can probably be pretty confident stalling. Like we could stall and make it so that it's going to be difficult for Locust to take the ball off you. The real question is, can you make it difficult for Urs to just kill your players? Or sorry, for Locust to kill your players, because that's more what you care about. Okay, we just score. I think the big thing here is that given that he has to lose by 2 to have a chance of getting knocked out of the playoffs, just getting a touchdown at any point means that's pretty unlikely. Chaos don't often win 3-1. So just getting the touchdown in is huge. All 3 of those KOs come back, though. Yeah, exactly. I think like it's a little bit weird. Like there's definitely a balance to strike here in that it's not like the game is irrelevant, right? If he just hides in the corner and Locust scores 3 times, he doesn't make playoffs. So you do have to like try a little bit to get something in. Like you've got to try to win, try to get a tie or whatever. But playing for the tie is good enough, and you kind of have to strike the balance between making sure that you don't lose by too much while also not losing players. Like at least not losing too many players, because you're going into playoffs likely and you want to like Gengar says in chat, preserve your blizzards for playoffs. So it's a weird balance to try and strike, I think. And, Locust is sort of in the same boat. Oh, Throw a Rock is canceled. If Locust loses by too much, and I think I think if Locust loses at all, because he was a point down on Urs going into this, he doesn't make it. But a tie is good enough, once again. So the kind of both players playing for a tie while trying to keep their players around is a bit of an awkward dynamic, I think. Slibly on the LOS just to like one more chance to not have one of your own players clawed.
Yep. Slibly and a bunch of loners.
Gets a KO though. Doing his job. But theoretically, all Urs really needs to do here is prevent a quick score. And then he can hide.
If he goes into his half, not decimated and not down by, or not tied, then he can just assume that, he can give up a score. And either he 2 turns in response, which is very easy to do as lizards, or he
can't commit to like running away until he knows what Locust is doing. Because if Locust sets up for a 2-turn here, for example, and tries to and then scores right away, that's not great for Locust, because then we have a chance of losing by 2.
Dirty player foul. The ultimate run up doesn't work.
So Urs just needs to stall Locust for like 2 turns or so, and even if Locust scores this half, as long as he scores on like turn 7 or 8 or something, and doesn't have a chance to like turn him over, then the game is basically done, and Urs is happy with the result. I don't know how I'd play this. It's kind of weird. You have to like put up some defense, but not too much. And I don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to do that very well. Stun on the vague ghoul pusher, who is not much of a ghoul pusher, more of a ghoul killer.
Yeah, the best blitzing threat that Urs has, or not Urs has.
I keep saying the wrong name too. I don't know why. But that is the best killer, like, or one of the best blitzing threats on the team, certainly. So it saves at least 1 Claw Mighty Blow hit.
So your blitzer is eating a Claw Mighty Blow hit in return, and he is stunned.
Possibly more. Not more. We do move the ball forward. Is this a cage? The answer is no. Oof. If If only that Crocs had block.
Yeah, I mean, that was just to get him off the cage, so it was a 2+, so it wasn't that risky. It was a 4+ for the knockdown, so not crazy, but...
No, not at all. But I'm just like, if that Crocs had stand firm or block or something, like...
Then it would have been a POW, in my experience.
That's true. I'm just saying that Urs would have had a really good opportunity to get at the ball there if he wanted to, if that Crocs was still just, like, adjacent to the cage.
Yeah, no, that's true.
He is only 2 SPP away, so if he can grab a casualty here, we could pick that up.
Oh, loner skink blocks are the most likely to kill.
Of course, yeah. Anybody who the SPP doesn't actually count for because they're loners are the ones who are most likely to get it, I think. So if you were like really concerned about team preservation, I think about now you could just leave and do the stupid hide in the corner thing that everybody hates. Because, you know, Locust is going to take the next 2 turns to score at least. And then you're tied, you go into his drive. At worst, you lose 2-1, and then you still go to playoffs. At best, you can 2-turn in return, still tie 2-2. You'd be okay with Locust just scoring now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put up a defense here that put my team at risk, certainly.
Saying now that you've slowed him down, oh, that's a double skull again. Into another stun. Vague Ghoul Pusher is just not getting anything done. Just stunned twice. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you're gonna back off, I mean, you could probably consider doing it about now. I mean, the problem is he can't really get a Saurus free without rolling dodges. But I guess the ground doesn't have Mighty Blow? Or Claw?
That's usually true.
Usually. I mean, Death Floor is a thing. We do still want to try to gain SPP though, right? There's a couple, like the Block Tackle Saurus is 3 away from leveling. The Crocs is 2 away from leveling. Like, you probably do want to try to get blocks on those Armor 8 pieces in there as well. Insta-pow on the skink. He's okay.
Is he dead though?
Just move the screen forward. Although, Locust does need to make sure he's in scoring range this turn. And he can't do a lot to stop both the guard Tacklesaurus and the Blocksaurus from getting at his ball. The good news is, I mean, as long as he's roughly in scoring range, no screen is really going to stop.
Successfully though.
He does. Ooh, is that a real injury or is that just badly hurt? He's badly hurt. He is safe. This is just a serious potato.
That's a grande patat.
I mean, it's a 2-die just on the ball with the Blocksaurus.
It's a 2+2 die. Oh no, actually no, he's cut off. So yeah, it's just with the block die. Yeah,
you can't do it with the tackle, unfortunately. But you have 2 rerolls and it's the last turn, so 4 dice. It's not unreasonable to look for a POW there. We do get through though with the break tackle, and go for it. Got it. Okay, so who does Locust now have in scoring range is the question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just that front beastman, right? The strength one? That's the only scoring threat right now?
Yeah, and with diving tackle on him, 1 in 9 to dodge, so can't protect the tackle.
This looks pretty good for Urs. It's unlikely that Locust scores now. And then we go into Locust's drive, and as long as Urs... And then Urs, pretty much at worst, gets a tie, right? So, he could just let Locust score without putting up any defense next half. And if Locust doesn't score now, and then Urs is guaranteed to go to playoffs, which is pretty big for him. So we'll see, and he could keep his players alive. We'll see what he does. Failed the catch. It's in 2 tackle zones.
So it is a 4+?
Yep. He's agi, so yeah, so it's +1, -2. And then after that, he would have had to.
I'm surprised he didn't blitz the, or did he have to blitz to get at the ball? I didn't see.
I don't remember. Oh, Finney is along. We are looking at the final week, the final recap for REL 1 and 2A. First, this was a pretty important match from REL 2A to determine who makes it. It's number 1 versus number 2 in the final week, and both coaches have the chance to lock or lose their playoff spot depending on the result. So that's why we're watching this one, and then afterwards we'll take a quick look at the results for this week and who made playoffs and that sort of thing. So far, Urs is losing players, but he scored and he prevented Locust from scoring in return on his drive. So now he's pretty happy because the sort of summary is Urs has to lose by 2 to have a chance of getting knocked out of the playoffs, and he's 1-0 up going to the Chaos drive. So he's pretty much good at this point. It's still possible that the Chaos score twice, but given that he has some pretty silly skinks. Although the one-turner is gone, but regardless, it's still unlikely that Locust wins this 3-1.
Well, that bonehead makes capitalizing a little tougher.
So Urs is pretty happy. Locust is not locked currently. I mean, a win guarantees it. A loss, there's a chance for him to lose, and I think a tie is good enough. So Locust does need to just score once, and Urs is okay with that, given that it also locks him. So we'll see how this drive goes, but I imagine we will probably see some Saurus preservation. Not if you fail GFIs and roll boneheads on the blitz, though. Good, nice blitz. Well, skink down. Just the loner, though. Okay, yeah, I'm already giving up. I need to turn the AC back on. I'm sorry. I might go out.
That's fast.
Yeah, I mean, I can just feel myself already getting sweaty. I'm like, well, okay.
It's toasty in your defense.
Sorry, everybody, that is loud. I can't deal with it. I'm Canadian. I can't deal with heat. It's just a loner skink. There's a couple players that would be really nice for Urs to get some SPP on. He has leveled the Agi skink in this game, which is, I mean, a blessing and a curse. It's more bloat on the skinks, but that's at least a good skink you want to keep around for a while. But he's 2 away on the Crocs, and he's 3 away on his block tackle Saurus. So he's got a couple good levels that he could squeeze out if he's lucky here. Silly Billy.
Best player in the game.
Definitely one of the best star
goes for
players.
The ball, and I think he's just straightforwardly well, I'm sure there are better star players at the 350k range, and double bonehead from the Crocs.
I mean, I guess if you're considering value, how much is Slibley?
Slibley is actually pretty overcosted. Someone put out a table at some point, but all of that tells you is that
Saurus are undercosted.
Saurus are aggressively undercosted. They're only slightly more expensive than skinks. And that having the right skills is much more important than efficiently having the right skills.
Yeah, I mean, he's just straight up, he's block guard stand firm. It's like what you would build a standard Saurus as anyway. So it's just kind of like, would you like a 5th Chaos Warrior on your team that's built the way you would normally build Chaos Warriors? I'm like, yes I would, please. So it's the same thing, but it gives you 7 Saurus that are built that way. But just in terms of raw, what you can get out of the game from them, I'm sure there's probably better ones, or game impacts maybe, like Eldril in some ways is really good because of Hypno Gaze. Cheney is nice.
Cheney is nice. But yeah, block guard stand firm on a strength 4 piece. Just pretty good.
Glart is a pretty good piece. There's certainly an argument for, like, you know, Deep Root Strong Branch is amazing, but he's only really for halflings, so. And there's, you know, some argument about, like, probably Boomer, just because he's super cheap on, like, Norse or something, but... Slibley is definitely in the conversation. So, Locust does get a hold of the ball. Urs has got his best skink, just kind of hiding, which is fair. And I imagine we're probably going to see a passive defense, I guess. Croc splits! I like it. Trying to get that 2 SPP.
This is very much a coach who has realized that the victory condition for the match has been met. Mighty
Pretty
Blow
much.
not quite getting it done there.
Yeah, Mighty Blow had to be used on the armor. We rolled an 8. If we had rolled one more, we would have used the Mighty Blow on the injury, and then that would have been a 9. Is a 9 an injury?
No, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, so the Mighty... If we had rolled one higher on the armor, it wouldn't have made that an injury, so... In, like, the new rule set or tabletop, right? Or like the potentially leaked whatever rule set. I don't really play tabletop Blood Bowl, so it is not going to matter for me until Blood Bowl 3 becomes a thing, if it ever becomes a thing.
Croc's not punished for his impudence. Stands up to Claw Mighty Blow just fine.
We totally ignored the thing that just happened, but Urs says he put the Saurus there last turn to get surfed so that he didn't get blitzed by a claw player, basically. It's very much, you know, passive, try to keep the right players alive sort of play at this point.
Or Sacrificial Saurus. How do you think he feels, Urs?
I mean, he's fine. He's just in the reserves box.
Could have been dead.
Croc splits. Yes, I love this. As someone who tried to level my beast for like 3 games in a row with 1 SPP, I very much appreciate it.
You've experienced some Croc splitzes in your time?
Well, I tried to Vanity Pass with a Beast of Nurgle once. It turns out that that's just not good.
You heard it here first, people.
Well,
Agi 1 Vanity Pass is not good.
I tried. Well, like it's. I figured it was. I did it at one point, like forever ago. In the more recent games where it didn't matter, I figured it was probably just more likely to get an injury off a 3-die block on the LOS than it was to.
I do like that you're
pass.
doing nothing but trying to level your big guy, and he's doing nothing but trying to kill your big guy.
It's a fun little dance we're
Yeah,
playing.
you know, it is a little dance.
Crocs is okay, and he's just gonna stand up and blitz in return. Let's go, Crocs. I believe in killer Crocs. Although he's not being very killery right now.
He'll get there eventually. I mean, if he doesn't get fouled to death.
Which I guess is still a real distinct possibility. Here we
It
go.
really is.
Oh no, we're following the Slibley. That's fine. You can foul Slibley all day. He's not my player, says Urs. I like how the blitz happened before the turn thing popped up on my screen there. Just instant. Oh, Mighty Blow doesn't get anything done. Alright, but right now, we're at worst, as long as we don't remain based on Claw, we can take 1 Claw Blitz a turn. So there are going to be at most 4 more of those.
What could go wrong?
You could lose 3 Saurus and a Croxagore.
Urs has never experienced that kind of pain. No tease.
Nope, never.
Croxagore going down.
Thick Skull.
Thick Skull saving him, keeping him in the game.
Or
did it curse him?
I think that's actively worse. Well, considering you want to level him, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag.
On the one hand, you'd like to get a level. On the other hand, a KO is safe. Pile on a skink with Mighty Blow, and we get nothing. 1-2-3-2.
Too strong, you know.
Slibly still just trying to passively remove players with his face and not getting it done. Oh, I like it. This Lonersaurus isn't his. He can risk it, so he'll just chain push him onto the ball and stand him up. And now this does, one of two things. Either Locust has to roll dice to get away, which is a chance at failing. But more importantly, it's most likely that he's just going to dedicate his blitz to freeing up his ball carrier, because that's the safest thing to do. And that means he's going to be Claw Mighty Blow blitzing a loner that that Urs doesn't care about. So it's this is really, it's I think that's a really cool, really good play, based on the game circumstances. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out, but I think that was the intention.
I think you're probably right.
This is the scary bit. Claw Mighty Blow blitz on the best Saurus. This is what the Apo is for.
The Apos.
Yeah, exactly. Armor break. Stun. Here comes the pylon. Oh, he doesn't have piling on. That's not the piling on one. Safe for now.
Safe for the moment.
Okay, well, Locust is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's in scoring range now, and it is functionally impossible for Urs to stop Locust, for Locust to score more than one time.
But you know what we're probably... Oh, we're not going to see a Croc Splits. I'm a little surprised.
So I think we're going to see a tie. If Locust scores next turn, Urs could technically two-turn, but considering that a tie is what will lock Locust, and he wants 0% chance of losing this game, and a tie is good enough, he'll just wait till turn 16, I would imagine. He has literally no benefit to scoring now. There's zero reason to score now.
Just screening the good skink, I see, yeah. Well, I mean, you had to activate the Crocs one way or another, but I guess you needed to free up that Saurus, more importantly.
Alright, we're going to blitz Slibly now, I would say. Or are we just going to block him with, a rookie? The rookie is 1 SPP away, so we could just aim for the block for cheeky SPP. And we'll blitz somebody with Ice Baby Hammer Time. Nope, we're just going for it. Slibly is stunned for about the 8th time this half.
It's a special thing.
Pylon. There he goes. It only took 4 fouls and 2 Claw Mighty Blow blitzes.
Slibly is either completely invulnerable in my experience, or gets removed the first block. There is no in between.
Yeah, that's fair. That has happened to me with Borak the Destroyer as well, or Despoiler.
He despoils. He doesn't destroy.
I've had him go out on turn 1 and then never come back, and I've also had him be an absolute god and carry the game for me. You never really know which one you're gonna get. Alright, hide the skink. That sounds like a weird party game. Let's play hide the skink.
Yeah, no, I'm not okay with that.
And it's not a party game I think I would be comfortable playing. Alright. Locust will blitz the Crocs, I guess? We can do it with just Mighty Blow, no Claw. Which is pretty good for Urs. Safe! And then we'll score.
So just some GGs to be exchanged, some line blocks, and that's it.
Well, Urs could theoretically attempt a 1-turn, but I don't understand why you would.
It's just risking your player.
Yeah, there's no reason to. He
As
could.
we learned in REL 1 this week, GFI's kill.
I'm just saying, he could.
Did you see who died on a GFI, by the way?
I did not.
I believe it was the Movement 8 Frenzy piece.
Oh. Oof.
Big oof.
So there's no reason to. I mean, you might as well, given that you have a Saurus that needs 3 SPP and a Crocs that needs 2, take some 3 dies and call it a game. Actually, the SPP on Barney is good too, the 9 SP Saurus, because that puts him in MVP range. And Issa's already in MVP range, and it's not like he's going to get a touchdown in 1 turn. So I think you probably focus on Barney instead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just for that off chance.
Well, we know you wanted to win. But there's no point in 1 turning here simply because...
Unless you want to win.
It's hard. And B, it risks death to GFI and dodge.
But if you want to win, you want to win.
If you want to win, you want to win.
Exactly. Yeah, you win. Urs has the right attitude. And this is exactly where on stream I would say something like, I know what I should do here is this, because that is theoretically the correct decision. What I'm going to do is this, because I want to.
I don't think it's theoretically anything. I think it's objectively the best.
Okay, well, I'd say this is objectively the best decision, but I'm going to do this because I want to. We're going to try to work out our best way to defend the 1 turn here. And I think Locust correctly sussing out that the best way to do that is with A, strengthen the line, and B, guard. That also adds dodges.
No, I don't think this is terribly hard to 1 turn against.
I mean, it's not, given that you only need 1 push with sidestep, or like you don't need very many pushes and you have sidestep. But I mostly mean that doing this is 1,000 times better than the backline thing.
Yes, against Agi-Force Stunty, to be sure. Yes.
We also have, did Slibley come back? I didn't notice.
I didn't notice it.
Because Slibley has grab, which makes this infinitely easier. He did not, but so this is the right idea in that the guard player is here to try to make this block harder, but it turns out Saurus are strong, so they don't really care very much.
Well, we're doing it in the rain.
Stunty pass, let's go. But come on, made the pass, and then we failed the catch. Disappointing. There you go. Let's say 1-1 tie for that game. 21 armor breaks from the All-Stars of Chaos. But the tie result actually locks both players for this div.
Collusion?
I feel like it would be hard to call that game collusion, having watched it.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
And then Slibley eats the MVP, so... you know... I guess technically Urs got what he wanted out of that, which is a playoff spot, but unfortunately we didn't really get much else. We got 3 SPP on the Skink, which should level him, I suppose, but the rest of the SPP went to Slibley. Oh dear. Alright, let's get up REBBL.net, I guess, shall we?
We shall.
So, since we looked at 2A, we might as well just stick with 2A. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. So, as you can see, Urs was 1 point ahead of Locust, so Urs would have been at 25 and Locust was at 24. So then Kael'Ric and Atomics were both in range, right? So if Locust lost that, he would have been at 24 and just outside of the playoffs. If Urs lost that, he would have been at 25, and depending on how much he lost that by, he could have lost spots to
your screen is doing that aggressive orange thing again. It appears to be getting more orange as we speak.
That's probably fair. Give me 1 moment and I will fix that.
It's flux.
It is. I know what it is. It's
no, caloric acid.
Oh yeah, it's flux, and I have it disabled for when I'm in Blood Bowl. But I'm not in Blood Bowl anymore. So it was like, oh, we're done playing the game, and switched itself back on. Okay. So then we had Kael'Ric and Atomics were the other like threats there, but the tie locked both Urs and Locus, and then the results for Kael'Ric and Atomics, which we'll see in a second, ended up putting Kael'Ric in third for the last playoff spot, and Atomics missing out on playoffs by 1 touchdown differential in third or in fourth for the Challengers Cup. But the difference between second and fourth was 2 touchdowns, and the difference between first and the other things was 1 point. Like 2A was pretty tight.
Yeah, right until the end. We didn't have any. Well, we had no one locked, or nearly no one locked. So
we had 0 people locked at the start of this week. It was like, yeah, it was very likely that one of, like, I think it was impossible that both Urs and Locus dropped, but it was possible that at least one of them did. Like, if that makes sense. So technically, neither was locked because it was possible that they lost, but we had to have at least one of the two. Anyway, Terror Alliance versus Slade the Black Mage. Or sorry, Terror Alliance is Slade the Black Mage versus Marvelous Creatures, Soul of Dragon's Fire. I think I predicted... I don't remember what I predicted, actually. I predicted Terror Alliance. Or no, I predicted Marvelous Creatures, and Terror Alliance won. And let me see.
I think I predicted Slade.
You...
Or no, he's missing a bunch of players, so I also probably predicted the Marvelous Creatures.
Yeah, you did, because Slade was missing a couple important blockers, right? He went into this with only 4. Or sorry, they went into this with only 4. And had to have a bunch of loner hobgoblins. They did induce 2 blockers, as you can see. One of them even eating MVP. So that probably helped out, getting a little bit of extra tackle in there. But let's see. We had 41 blocks out of Slade, 5 KOs and 3 Kaz suffered. So sort of how you would have expected this to go, in terms of if the Chorfs were going to win, how they would win, by removing players. Slade is done with Chorfs, you're saying? This is an old team. They started this in college, I believe, and played it through minors, etc.
Yep.
That's true. So it'll be a fresh start for Slade, which is kind of exciting. But Marvelous Creatures took that one in a game that wasn't super relevant for either coach. We did level the Moon, finally. Unfortunately, because the Moon would have been a great ball carrier with like sure hands or block, but the team is getting rerolled now, sadly. Sierra Boys and Yeo haven't played yet. I don't know what the deal is there. I guess technically they could play today, but it's not relevant, so I don't know if they're going to or not. Disappointing if they don't, but what can you do? Rand and Atomics. I think we both predicted. So I predicted Atomics and you predicted Atomics, yeah. And this was important, as we saw. Atomics needed to win this to remain in contention. But he had to win by more than 1 to get that spot because of the Kael'Ric win that we'll see or the Kael'Ric tie, I guess. He had to win this by more than 1, or hope that Kael'Ric lost. Let's see, 30 blocks to 33, but the Khemri suffered 6 KOs and 5 Kaz, and the Nurgle suffered 9 KOs. Like, neither team had much of a team, although it looks like all of the injuries just got better. I don't see any that stuck.
Nothing stuck. They were beating the hell out of each other, but nothing quite stuck around.
Yeah, I mean, not one team only took KOs, and the other one had 5 Kaz that regent. So there you go. Sindbad was induced, which is kind of funny. You don't see him too often. He is very cheap, though, if you don't have any other options. And it is, block sidestep, I guess. Stab, not terribly useful against Nurgle. No levels out of the Khemri, and no levels out of the Nurgle. Touchdowns came on the Killer Pestigore and the Strength Rotter, interestingly enough.
Yeah, trying to level Big Fist Reborn so he can be the hero he was clearly meant to be,
His name is Big Fist, and he's got plus strength. That Rotter had best be
He's Big Fist Reborn. He's not just Big Fist.
Although
incarnation of Big Fist.
Atomics might also be re-rolling. It's a pretty good team, but he's just had like 3 seasons in a row now where he's missed playoffs on touchdown differential. Which
might be sick of teams that defeat themselves.
Yeah, he's getting a little frustrated, I think, with that. And I'm not even joking. Like, this is the second or third time this has happened to him, so I think he's giving up. He hasn't decided yet last time he talked to me about it, but I think that was what his forefront thought was. We saw the All-Stars of Chaos and Lackland Longtongues, Horn of Gorthank, and Orexploitation Cinema. I'm expecting a boatload of Kaz here. Yes.
Of course you're re-rolling Earth.
I was gonna say the only thing that I Shoot Blanks had going for him in this matchup was a boatload was like the Claw Mighty Blow, and he got 3 Kaz out of 1, 1 out of one of the Mighty Blow players, and 1 out of a random Beastman. So 4 KOs and 6 Kaz suffered by the Orcs means the Orcs don't have players and lose 3-0.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, we thought that maybe the Orcs could do something because they've got a lot of guard, and Demi Mork is kind of a stupid player that can make Orc bullshit happen, which is unexpected, but no real damage, though, all just badly hurts and that sort of thing. And Black Phillip Returns picked up a level with all 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
I mean, there you go.
I Shoot Blanks is just determined to build a team out of this.
And he is. I mean, at the start of the season, he had like 2 block Mighty Blow Warriors and like a block Beastman and a diving tackle Beastman, and like that was his team. And now this is what he has. Black Phillip Returns will probably get Sure Hands, assuming this isn't like stats. And then we have a real ball carrier. We've got a solid core of Chaos Warriors. And the only thing you're really missing at that point is building up a Killer Beast Blitzer, and you're set. So, rebuilt very well this season, I think. Our name is Legion, and Kelric is a tie, which is interesting, as we saw in the results. So this does put Kelric in playoffs. A tie was good enough for him, but the more he won by, the more Atomics, or if he just won, that would have guaranteed that Atomics was in Challengers. Kelric tying gave Atomics a chance, but Atomics had to win by more. Kelric losing would have put Atomics in playoffs. So it's a weird thing that you have to think about. Like, I hate that when you're like, you need your opponent, like other people in the div, to do stuff that affects your result.
Never a good feeling when your fate is out of your hands.
Like that time I made minors playoffs because 2 teams specifically tied. Like if either one of them won, I wouldn't have gone, but they tied, so I did.
You went with a negative touchdown differential.
-1, baby.
Good enough.
Yep.
Steakmittens motto.
Exactly. So there was a tie out of this one. A lot of blocks on both sides, actually. I mean, obviously the Necro are inflated because Fend. It's still a lot. Only 1 Kaz suffered out of all of that on the Battle Brothers, and it's just about and it was. Oh no, wait, I've read that wrong. Only 1 Kaz suffered by the Necro out of all those blocks. 5 Kaz suffered by the Battle Brothers. Nothing important.
Was it all the Claw Mighty Blow Wolf? Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, we got 1 from the Claw Mighty Blow Wolf, 1 from the Mighty Blow White, 2 from the Mighty Blow White, and 1 from the Mighty Blow Flesh Golem. But it was all on...
Mighty Blow doing things.
Mostly on Peasants. Houndmaster Hobart got badly hurt, but that's fine. Lord Porohoy picked up the MVP and a completed pass to put him 15 away from Legend for the 2nd Legend Blitzer on the team.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
What do you want for that piece? Leap, maybe?
Well, he's kind of like the... He's
like a Blitzer. Yeah.
I mean, you'd love for doubles, I guess, for like piling. Well, I don't know if you want to pile on with your like Agi sidestep piece.
You might take guard there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't play enough Bretts to know what you would take. I feel like a piling on.
Literally never played Bretts.
I've only played them in the context of 1 minute, which is a stupid way to play Bretts. Like I feel like a piling on Mighty Blow piece would be really valuable on a Blitzer, but I don't know if you'd want to take it on your like Agi Blodge Step one. So I don't know. If you just got normals, I don't know what you would even take. You're kind of running out of useful things there. You could just take Fend to have the like ultra annoying Fend sidestep combo. Guard would be pretty useful if you got the doubles. I don't think any other agi skills benefit you too much. I mean, maybe jump up just to save movement if you're ever knocked down, but I don't really think that's that valuable. So I don't know. I'm not sure what you would take. Diving catch.
Yes, clearly the right answer.
And then we had Uber the Noober and Here We Fall. Another tie. It's 27.
So there really weren't a lot of points to be had.
No, well, given that only like three of the matches were relevant, the other coaches were probably playing a lot for SPP. And in some of the matches where they were relevant, a tie was good enough, so they probably played for the tie. So we got 19 armor breaks on the Rats, which took 6 KAs and 4 KOs. But in what is becoming a theme for 2A this week, none of them matter. They're all MNGs or badly hurts.
No, all the death happened in Div 1.
Yeah, I mean, the 2B had I guess it was 2B had the nickname of Too Brutal, but 2A was pretty brutal in a lot of ways. Not this week. One Tree Offense the second picks up five completed passes and a touchdown to level from 0. So I guess we can tell what Fall was attempting to do this game.
Yes.
And that is level One Tree Offense by standing there throwing bandy passes for 5 turns.
Yeah.
Also apparently fouled a lot to take all those Rats off the field. MVP on the catcher, another pass on a blitzer, and 2 passes and a touchdown on Helm's Deep to get another level there too. So hell of a lot of SPP on Fall's team from this one.
Yeah.
So do we want to look at who these people are facing since we're already talking about 2A?
Yeah, we can quickly look at the playoff first round.
Just for these coaches. So the Lackland Longtongues are playing against Zoot's Odd Jobs in the first round. I don't know who they are or where they are, but I'm sure we can find them. At Stubings from REL 5K, a Necro team finished first there. Not a terribly disgusting Necro team coming from one of the fresh divs. There is a movement werewolf, but there's no like claw mighty blow or anything, so the lizard should be pretty good in this one actually. There's not a whole lot of the white is a good skink threat, but the werewolves and the flesh golems are not going to stand up to those Saurus very well.
I mean, so lizards. I mean, rather this game is hard. I think even if the Necro are a little underdeveloped, so I would be a little worried for Earths here.
I mean, it's not like free, but it could have been worse. That's a good question. Lackland Longtongues are at 16-10, and let me find the Necro. The Necro are at 1650, so Earth gets 40k. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I think this is going to be pretty hard. Despite how it looks, I think it's going to be pretty hard for the Lizards. I don't think it's like a set. It's just like the basic skills that Necro have are very annoying for Lizards to deal with.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I can't find... Wait, is it really all the Stars of Chaos and not the All Stars of Chaos? And I've been saying it wrong all season?
For several seasons, in fact.
Oh. Well, there you go. Why can't I find them in the playoff bracket?
I do not know.
I tried control F'ing and I don't see them. I can't find it. What is wrong with me? I actually just don't see it anywhere. I don't understand.
maybe there's something weird going on.
Nope, I'm dumb. I was looking at the wrong bracket.
That makes sense.
I was looking at the Challengers Cup one. There it is. So they're playing against Ordinary Elves.
Oh, I know that's holing from my div.
Yep.
The elf.
Yeah, 3C.
Yeah, we had a shootout, 1-4-4 each.
So there you go. Wood Elves and the Chaos we just saw. So they have a solid War Dancer. Wow. A couple solid War Dancers. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, it's Archangel. Like, I've got 4 really good players and nothing else.
Yep, exactly.
1340 TV though, so they're gonna get a lot of inducements, and Wood Elves can make some magic happen with inducements. Certainly, that might not be an easy one for all the Stars of Chaos. They do have 3 tackle, which is going to be useful, and they have sure hands. But it's still kind of scary to be up against like 900k of inducements against Wood Elves.
Yep.
Although when you're up that much, you probably feel pretty good in some ways.
Yes, it's not it's not all sad.
No. And then Kaelric is going to be up against Mount Grimfrang Thunderers, which are not in REL, so I'll have to go look in the other divs. Nope, I think that's Big O. There it is. That's Truk, or Trauk, the Argentinian dentist. He's playing in Big O. Finished first in Div 3 with Dwarves. So Dwarves on the Bretts, which is a little scary. I mean, that's a lot of guard, good amount of Mighty Blow, the tackle for all your blitzers. The good news is he's down his like vampire runner.
Don't they get an MNG clear?
I don't remember. I guess probably.
No.
No, I don't think so. So if he being down that runner is actually really big. I mean, that's one of the only pieces that keeps up with the Brett speed. It's strength 4. Tackle would be hard to get the ball off of him once he has it. So he's going to just be playing with the regular runner, and therefore, no bench or anything, and only 2-3 Agi 3 players, which is possible to take advantage of for the Bretts. And then I will go to the bracket I was mistakenly looking at before.
Oh, he does get it. Okay, that's what I thought. I was going to say I thought we changed the college rules because they do get one for.
Oh, he does get it. Okay. So that'll be a little bit annoying having that dwarf on the field. And in the bracket that I was looking at before, stupidly, but is now correct, the Challengers one, we have I've got to find the Red Hot Boys, which is a fun name. There it is. It's Costin Stryker from 4F in G-Man, an orc team, finished 3rd. Going up against Atomics. Frankly, I feel like I wouldn't be wrong in saying I like Atomics in this one, given that it is 2,000 Nurgle versus 1,500 orcs with no guard.
Yes. I think he's a little favored, to say the least.
Well, I say no guard. There are 2. But like the way orcs beat Nurgle is by bullying them, right? And if they can't, they just die to Claw Mighty Blow.
Merciless bullying.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guard slamming in that strength, making it hard for the Nurgle to get blocks because most Nurgle teams don't actually have very much guard. But there's only 2 here. And there's no bench either, which is going to be rough. He does get inducements, so he could get a bench. But he has all his positionals, so he can't, including a troll. So his bench is only going to be either star players or line orcs. I would not be surprised to see a line orc or 2. Maybe even 2 line orcs and one of them with dirty player and a bribe might be good. Because you do get a lot. But you need some sort of bench, and you're going to want more line fodder against the Claw Mighty Blow, I think, as those orcs. But that's 2A for the season. Done. go look at Div 1. Nope, we're about to start Div 1 now. So Div 1 was also sort of complicated, to say the least. So I think all the way down to Ramaset had a chance to make the playoffs here, depending on what happened elsewhere. And it was very much that sort of situation where you needed other coaches to win or lose or have certain win results to see who makes it. And we see that, Stouticus, in the opposite of what happened in 2A, the Nurgle make the playoffs by 1 touchdown differential instead of losing the playoffs by 1 touchdown differential. So, all things in balance. But Superfed taking the top in the division and therefore the bye week on 1 touchdown differential again, as is the theme for this season apparently. But Luminous took second as Vamps in 1, and we have a human qualifier for playoffs from Div 1, which I don't think has happened before.
I don't think so. Yeah, B-Dog pulling it out, coming in with 7-2-4, 22 points.
Mongoose and Stouticus, the other representers of REL 1, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Div 1 really coming in with some fun and varied playoff candidates this year.
Instead of 5 Nurgle teams like last season.
Yeah. Every season.
So B-Dog beat the Rat Bastards and Toast Guy 2-0.
Oh, I watched that game. Oof.
I didn't watch it, but it's like I'm gonna back out a bunch so we can see what happens here, right? So if B-Dog didn't win that, he would have been tied with Stouticus for 20th, assuming the other matches went the same way, and then he would have not made playoffs because his touchdown differential would have been by definition lower, having lost. So an important one for B-Dog. You say oof. Why is it oof? That's why it's oof.
So the Rat Bastards had basically everything humanly possible go wrong in the first few games. They just got utterly skull-fucked.
They made 10 blocks total.
Yeah, no, it was extremely over.
The humans made 28 blocks total and got 7 KOs and 6 CAS.
The degree to which this game was instantly over should not be underestimated.
Okay. John Oliver died, which is terrible.
Yeah. Oh, several things died. I think one of them got better.
Gabul the Wild is MNG'd. Walter Woogums is a gutter runner who died. Less important, he's a rookie, but man. The guard line rat getting movement busted is surprisingly annoying. Normally you'd say, oh man, it's just a line rat, who cares? But guard is pretty good. And it turns out, being armor 7 and movement 6 is not a great combination. And then Flim Flam is badly hurt. Apparently we're getting the news that he thinks the team is dead and is re-rolling.
He is correct.
My team's died worse than this and I never re-rolled, but I'm also stupid, so don't do what I do. Currently I think the thought is Kislev's is Superfed, and Superfed is trying to save him from doing said thing.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to play a team that is like Rats, except everyone is agi busted, and also they just fall over all the time?
Kislev went from Kislev to Rats and said it felt crazy good to do so, and going from Rats to Kislev would feel really bad.
Just the opposite.
Big Chuck and Acropolis tying. I don't think that makes a difference in the playoffs because of what happened last week, but I'm going to have to check all of these things. Yeah, Big Chuck won. He would have only been 17, which doesn't change anything there. 1-1, so both teams probably just out looking for SPP. Dazed and Confused getting a hell of a lot more blocks than the Chaos did though, although that's not surprising given the size of the teams, I think. 3 Kaz suffered, only 1 stuck around, so 2 Appos induced, or an extra Appo induced, I guess. And just an MNG and a Rookie Beast, so who cares? Good, really good MVP for Chuck, though, if he's keeping this team, because it's on a Warrior.
I kind of doubt it. Chuck has been real sour about this team.
I'd be surprised if he does. Yeah, like you said, he hasn't been too happy about it, and also, rebuilding with
in
one
his defense,
Warrior.
He's lost a lot of Warriors. And then, wait, Not for Science and Travel Scrabble haven't played yet. Is that
No.
Not for Science's schedule? No.
I don't know. The Nurgle did level 3 players, a Nurgle warrior and 2 Pestigors, which is pretty nice for Nurgle. Like, you're real happy to
Yeah,
see
especially
that.
because it's the movement Pestigor, which is the greediest shit I have ever seen as a first level.
I've done that once, and he died immediately, like, the next game. So...
It's the game teaching you a lesson sooner than it really ought to have.
I was like, oh, I'll make him a ball carrier. That's cool. I need a ball carrier. And then he just died. I was like, oh, well, okay.
And Mongoose... Oh, sorry, I moved on to the next game.
Well, it's fine. I was going to do anyway.
Mongoose managed to level Damon Ball, his legend. I wonder what he took. I didn't actually check.
So this was an interesting one as well. Luminous versus Mongoose. So Luminous
scored and then got the shit kicked out of him.
Well, so it's... they were both... It was like second versus the fourth, I think. So even a loss still was good enough for Mongoose, I think, because it left him at 21 points, given the results of other things that happened. Luminous would have also been good losing that as well. I think both of them were fine, but Luminous had a chance at the bye week if he won, so the win there was useful for him that way. Although not winning by more meant it wasn't actually in the cards, unfortunately. But both of them do remain in playoffs despite the loss for Mongoose. Yeah, he said.
And yeah, Lumi got the crap kicked out of him.
Sure did.
Nothing relevant. Everything is just MNGs are badly hurt, so he'll get those cleared up. Dead Thrall, but he's got the money to replace it, I think. So not a big deal either way. But yeah, Mongoose coming out swinging, getting 18 breaks into 13 removals.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I think the one thing that Lumi is probably unhappy about is that he would have really have liked to level that 13 SPP Vamp.
Yeah, Boris Johnson, yeah.
Unfortunately, he got because only one touchdown. Not terribly difficult for
Have to do it in round 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah, because he does not get the bye, given Superfed took it. So that's unfortunate, but he's probably pretty happy to come out of that game without more permanent damage, given the number of removals that occurred. So all in all, probably pretty good for both teams. You know, they both made playoffs. Mongoose gets a couple levels, although he, you know, just an MNG on this blocker, and he does hit legend. He's already Claw Palm. I mean, I guess it's just guard, unless you roll doubles and can take like jump up or horns or something.
Wait, Unseen Walker, are you rerolling too? I think you are, but I wanted to double check before we get to your game.
I wonder if he's taken that level. I'm really curious. Oh, he rolled doubles and he took jump up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I checked and I forgot to tell you because you were talking constantly.
Oh.
Yeah, jump up is really good, obviously, on that piece.
Yeah,
it makes the plus movement a little less exciting. Not that the plus movement was ever exciting, but if you ever want to see me unenthused about a plus movement, it is on a jump up Chorf blocker.
He's a great safety Chorf now, though. He's movement 5, and if he piles on, he doesn't lose his movement. Safety Chorf.
Have you played Chorfs?
No, I haven't.
I have. I don't really like them. Anyway, Norse versus Dwarves, a game you would expect to be incredibly bloody, was incredibly tame.
Yep. I don't know what else to say with that. I mean, 47 blocks to 40 blocks, 1 Kaz on each side.
One dead blocker, but it was just a rookie blocker, so I don't think Unseen Walker is too sad, given how his death... I'm sure he's still sad to lose yet another bench, but, you know, at least it wasn't his developed blocker this time.
He did level a rookie one, which is nice. We get another guard or mighty blow out of it.
Those are the two options.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right. On a double, you consider diving tackle, but he's already got 2.
He took guard. He took guard. See?
You were right. You win. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Moving on. Broken Bone Battalion 3-0ing Ramaset, which I think was a big deal for Ramaset, wasn't it?
It was. So if we back out to Div 1, so wait, sorry, that was Super Base, right?
Yeah, Super Base punched out Ramaset. I think that nixed Ramaset's chances of making
it did. So Super Base was at 17 and Ramaset was at 18. So if Super Base won and Stouticus lost, Super Base would have taken the 5th spot. If Ramaset won, he would have just made playoffs. And theoretically could have also knocked out Mongoose if or no, I don't think Mongoose could have gotten knocked out. It would have knocked out Stouticus, even if Stouticus won, I think. But yeah, so Ramaset losing this made him lose playoffs. Super Base winning this gave him a chance to make playoffs, is I think the way to put it. So Super Base won it astoundingly. Oh no, there was a chance because Stouticus lost. So there was a chance that Mongoose could have gotten knocked out if Ramazet won, because Ramazet could have won and Stouticus could have won, and then that would have pushed Mongoose out of playoffs. So like this was a huge match for a lot of people, because it determined what Stouticus needed to do, it determined what Ramazet needed to do, and it determined what Mongoose needed to do from one game. So this one was super important. But unfortunately, Rama did not win. Look at all those loners.
I mean, Broken Bone Battalion had 4 real players.
5?
4 real positionals. Oh, no, sorry. 3 positionals and 5 total players, yes.
Yep.
I misread Prince Moranian as a real player. Technically not.
Yeah, and one of the positionals was even a rookie. So I'm not sure. Well, I was gonna say I'm not sure how this happened, but 5 Kaz is how this happened, I think.
Yeah, looks like it. I mean, Broken Bone Battalion getting 10 breaks into 4 Kaz, and 1 extra Kaz on a dodge or a foul or something like that. There's also a Surf, which could have been the Kaz. Rough game. Armor bust on the thrower is bad. MNG on the guard, Lino, whatever. Agi busted Lino. It's really just the armor bust on the thrower is bad, and it's not career ending. I think the throwers on High Elves are armor 8 anyway, so it's just an armor 7 piece. It's not terrible for something that doesn't get hit very often.
The MNG on the guard lineman sucks, given that he won't have it for the first game of next season if he keeps the team.
Yeah, I don't know if Ramazet's keeping the team, though. It's not that exciting. I don't know if I'd keep it. Also, I think he'd be guaranteed to stay in Div 1, wouldn't he? Would you want to be in Div 1 with this team?
Probably, but then again, I'm stupid.
Okay, Ramazet, if that's ever an indication that you need to abandon your team, I don't know what else would be.
Take whatever I say and do the opposite, and that's probably the right decision. I mean, I've never rerolled, and my team is awful. So
we're gonna look at it after this.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are. I want to do the where the casters are now.
Okay, you just want to show off your team.
I do want to show off. No, I want to show off BMO.
The Dreams of Golden Streams and the Grungy Desserts. So Superfed didn't need to win this one. He needed to win it if he wanted the bye week, because if Luminous won, he would have had the bye week, but Superfed only needed to win by 1 he needed to win by more than Luminous won by. So he wanted to wait for after the other results to see what happened, to know how much he had to win by, if he wanted the spot, or if he decided he didn't want the spot, how much to, like, it was all this sort of complicated decision making, basically.
We know.
The most fed thing in the universe is that. But Superfed did take it 3-2, and the 1 touchdown differential was enough to take the bye week over Luminous.
I saw a bit of this game too. Was a rough one for Stouticus, and
oh no, Donut in a Hole.
Yeah, Donut in a Hole died on a GFI, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so disappointing. He was what a great Pestigor.
Yeah, low-key one of my favorite pieces.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just cool. You don't see something like that too often. The other injuries looked like they got better, but man, that sucks. We did level Jelly Roll Mai, which is another level Pestigor, always good to have. I guess you start rebuilding the...
well, he's already got 4 skills on Fell on Black Vignettes, and that's a Nurgle Warrior he picked up this season, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great-looking team. Beast of Nurgle needs levels, but not really. Like, he's fine base. He does his job.
So the question is, what do you take on Jelly Roll? I
mean, you don't have a ball carrier.
Yeah.
So probably extra arms or sure hands. Probably sure hands. If you didn't roll anything spicy.
If you wanted a ball carrier, I would take sure hands.
I think you want a ball carrier.
Well, that's the question. Is you could just buy another Pestigor and try to level him. The awkward bit about that is that you kind of have to decide whether you want to be like a ball carrier now, because you start taking like sure hands. But you could buy a 4th Pestigor and try to level him and see if he gets something exciting like Agi or doubles or whatever, and start making this guy like a new Donut in a Hole with like Frenzy or Guard or something. But I mean, I would probably just make him a ball carrier at this point.
Yep. and that's the last game.
Dakota Sky levels for the Dreams of Golden Streams. Another line rant level.
I mean, that's nice because he doesn't have kick or dirty player, and both of them are pretty essential. I mean, I assume he took kick.
Yeah, kick is probably the best thing.
I would take guard over it, I think, but barely.
Amy Brooke got 1 touchdown, so we're only... I think he was hoping to level this blitzer.
Because he did.
I think he was hoping to level this blitz. I keep trying. I see blitzer, and then my brain is like, no, it's a rat. Call it a blitz rat, because like blitzera, but it's a storm vermin. But I want to call them blitz rats. Wanted to level the storm vermin, didn't manage to get it, and was kind of hoping for the first round game to try to get that done for later in the playoffs, because given a top seed from REL 1, like the second place seed in REL 1 or Big O 1 or G-Man 1 is still going to be against a younger team, so it's pretty likely that you still have a pretty favored match in round 1, because of how seeding works. So it would have been likely to get that level in the first round before the matches got a bit harder, quote. So I think that's what he was aiming for. Instead, he gets a bye week. Some SPP on other rats that don't get them super close to leveling. So this is what he'll be focusing on, I would imagine, in the near future. And I wonder if Staticus did take that level just while we're here. Sure hands, yeah. So one for the ball carrier. Makes a lot of sense. And yeah, that's apparently Scooby and the gang and Fellows Quadadol are playing tonight, but that doesn't really affect the results.
Not for science. Finished last season top of the div, and this season bottom of the div.
So Superfed gets the bye week in week 1. Let's see what we can find for the other teams. Gourmet Governors are going to be playing against RBBL's Supremacy, which I don't know where they are, but it shouldn't be too hard to find. There they are. It is Mad Frog, High Elves in G-Man 3B.
So who's playing this?
Lumi.
Holy hell, the stats. Lumi.
Wow.
What the fuck are you gonna do? Is your game plan hold yourself and cry? Mr. I don't take tackles on my blitzers? What's your... I mean,
Okay.
I assume the game plan is wizard.
These
are 2,260 TV high elves. Holy hell.
This catcher has more stat ups than skills.
Yeah, just a cool movement 10 agi 5 blodge piece.
Yeah, I mean, so Vamps can definitely pull out some nonsense, like the sort of ability to get more than one blitz a turn in quotation marks with, hypno gaze. You can like break through screens that way is certainly super useful, but this is going to be one to watch, and I think it's going to be hard.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean the strip ball leap agi 5 piece is
terrifying.
Going to be a constant game of your ball my ball. Like, I think you can handle it on defense, because I think there's not a lot that developed vampires can't handle on defense, but your offenses are going to be nightmares.
Yeah, vampires already have a bit of a hard time on offense sometimes, and that catcher is such a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Man, there's a strength blodge lineman, not terrible. There's a strength agi leap strip ball, and there's a leap wrestle agi. Like, oh my god, both of those players are such nightmares. And meanwhile, Mayhem is just going to be like killing thralls every turn. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just carry... I mean, you have to carry out, like, either on one of the sidesteppers or maybe, like, the strength 5. I mean, he's not going to reveal his plans. It's going to be interesting. I think it might be, well, you can't get in a shootout as vampires either. No, I mean, this is going to be interesting, for sure. I don't think Lumi loves his first round call.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, wait, Fed, you preferred this? This is the matchup you wanted? Are you high? I guess it would be an opportunity to level. Alright. I think this matchup would be pretty hard for rat teams. Look at its record. Let me see. Does it have a record unbefitting its stats?
I've already moved on,
Okay.
so I'm too lazy to look at that. But Fed's saying it doesn't have a great record. What is the record?
I think Fed was they're talking mostly about the track.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the pathway.
And the sidestep after leap on the wrestle agi 5. Yeah.
So I'll move on a bit.
That's a strange choice.
The Bogue Bombers and the humans will be playing against Onigoku's Capital Punishment from 4B here. It is Chaos, who went 10-1-2 in the season. It's an 1830 Chaos team, and it looks exactly like an 1830 Chaos team in that it somehow doesn't have enough skills.
Chaos never have enough skills.
Yeah, it just feels weird. I see like, oh man, big Chaos team, 1800, and then I click on it, and I'm like, this doesn't look big.
This is Bogue Bombers?
Yeah.
Oh man, anyone else from the div would have a field day. Like, if it was just Volcanu or Grungy Desserts, they would eat this Chaos team alive. But all of that Mighty Blow is going to make things a bit tough for the humans. But that said, this team is also pretty prone to falling apart in its own, I think. And the humans, I believe in B-Dog's ability to win this game.
Well, the humans also are pretty elfy humans, and there's like no tackle or anything on this team.
There's 0 tackle, and there's a good amount of dodge. Or what, 4 dodge players on the humans? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's certainly not terrible, but it's one of those games where if Mighty Blow pops off, you just lose, and you're sad about it. Next,
he's got no bench, and he's only got 60k, so he can't even buy a lino. What's the inducements like? Oh, the inducements go towards the chaos. It's actually pretty bad. I think B-Dog's used to being the underdog and being able to get a couple of inducements out of it. This is a bad game to be the overdog, and I think he would really prefer to have something to like shore up his pretty limited bench. He's only got 1.
For him, yeah, the chaos don't have any good inducements really that they can get, but like you'd much rather be getting inducements as the humans, yeah. Now that we're a chunk into the review, I just want to check up with the chat. Is like the sound?
There was some guard on that.
There was 2 guard.
Yeah, 2 guard on that chaos.
Is the sound crazy out of sync or anything with Shadorra's mouth? I hope I fixed that, but I just want to check up on that if it looks weird to anybody.
I'm trying to outbash those chaos unless you start busting Beastmen left and right would be a mistake. But B-Dog doesn't play really bashing usually, so.
And then we have, speaking of, we have another Chaos team from 4E, Bernie Buffin's Bernie's Curse, Chaos playing against Mongoose and his Chorfs. This is a 2140 Chaos team, though, so there's a bit more to this one. Only 2 guard is a thing in that, there's a pretty good chance that the Chaos Dwarves can kind of bully a little bit. However, there are 4 Claw Mighty Blow, which could 5 if you include the Minotaur. Grimlock Crackjaws. There's a Minotaur on this team. I like it. If that could make things awkward for Chorfs. Like, this is very snowbally, I guess, right? The Chorfs can like probably try to prevent it for as long as possible by making blocks awkward with their guard advantage, but as soon as the removals start happening, they'll keep happening and the Chorfs won't be able to stop it anymore. I think is the scary bit for Mongoose here.
Yeah, that's a hell of a kill chaos team.
And Bernie's a good coach, so can't count that out. Mongoose does get inducements, so he could try to get some more. Like, he has a pretty big bench already, but he could try to increase that, or maybe get an extra Apo for a power Apo move.
Yeah, I think I still like Mongoose in this one. He's got 200k as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's unfavored for him. I just think it's one of those games that could get out of hand quickly if things go wrong.
Sure. Yes. I mean, kill teams snowball. That's.
Yeah, especially, well, it's just more pronounced against stuff like Chorfs or like lizards, right?
What was the chaos team's name?
Bernie's Curse. It's in like 4E.
Oh, is he in REL?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
A lot of REL versus REL matchups in the first week so far.
11-1-1 is a hell of a record for a nearly fresh team.
Yeah, well, Bernie's really good.
I mean, it's got a strategy. 2 dirty player, 4 claw mighty blow, 5 with the Minotaur.
I love the Monitor. I'm excited to see that one too. And then we do have to go to, I think, we have to go to a different region for Stouticus's match. From G-Man 3C, Harl Moral, the 2+ Supreme Leaders, High Elves. Ones have been banned from our decks.
That sounded like a High Elf team name.
Well, he has a double niggled armor-busted Blitzer, which is just going to die.
9-0-4. Harl Moral plays all or nothing.
Plays hard, goes hard.
Double niggled edgy 7.
He's going to die. I mean, he has Blood Step, but oh my god.
Stouticus couldn't hurt a fly.
That's true. And there's he's got 2 throwers, and one of them is just not a thrower.
Look, man, he's got an armor bust to cancel out the claw, and a niggle to cancel out the mighty blow. It's like they're just bloat, you know?
Yeah, it's a +1 and a -1. They just make 0, right? That's math.
That's just math.
Yeah, easy. I love how this team has 2 throwers and one of them isn't a thrower. Like, he's a blitzer now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he took a first thrower and it rolled strength, and he was like, "Fuck! Well, it's not a thrower anymore. It's just a slow, stupid blitzer." And this is how we got there.
I guess we take. I'm surprised he didn't just take. And then he bought a new thrower, and then that thrower immediately just rolled doubles for strong arm. I mean, well, I was gonna say if you. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say if you rolled, strength on the thrower, do you not just consider strong arm because you don't really want a slower blitzer?
No, I think like there's nothing wrong with a movement 6, strength 4, ag 4, armor 8 piece. Like,
yeah, that's very fair.
Wouldn't want that.
He's also plus movement now, but I think he's also minus movement given that. No,
the stat ups are broken again on REBBL.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know if because he would show up in the CAS. It would show up in the CAS column. He's movement 7, strength 4, AG 4.
Blodge tackle.
He is actually just a strength up blitzer now with 2 stat ups.
And sometimes can throw the ball.
I mean, yes, in the same way that most elves can throw the ball.
Well, he can extra throw the ball. He gets a reroll, and it's safe. Safe throw. And Augusto Chain Push is the plus movement catcher, which I think is very appropriate.
Yeah.
Nurgle don't particularly like crazy agi teams sometimes.
This isn't really a super unfair agi team, though.
No, it's not. However,
a good amount of tackle, but Stouticus also just lost his Surfer, and it's hard to express how much slower losing Donut in a Hole made this team.
Yeah, if we go back and look at it, he has 2 movement busted Nurgle Warriors, and his Wrestle Tackle Pestigore is movement busted. So he lost his movement 8, and now his only tackle are movement 4, 3, and 5. And he only has 2 movement 6 players in the entire team. So Nurgle don't like fast things because they are slow, and Stouticus is especially slow for a Nurgle team. So yeah, I think this one might actually be pretty hard for him. It's not like an unfair elf team. It's just he's gonna feel the loss of Donut in the Hole and the slowness of his team pretty seriously.
Because Stouticus is weirdly trim now that Donut in the Hole is dead, he's not giving away a wizard.
That's a big deal. Which means that the elves aren't going to have a bench really. So we could, if we
only have 1, which is the right amount of bench to have as Nurgle versus elves, because it lets you foul but not really worry about going down players.
Yeah. And his line blocks are going to be a lot of Mighty Blow Tackle. It's going to be, we're pretty likely to get some removals there. If the elves are on, if the elves are on defense first, which sometimes they want to be, you're likely to just get a player advantage right away. If they're on offense first, you can try to play the kill them to force them to score early game, and that might be the way to go. The Stouticus. But anyway, should be interesting, and that's that. I'll bring up the title. That's everything. Oh, I guess we're not technically done. We have the playoff or the tipping comp I can look at.
Yes, and we were going to look at our teams, Ben.
Oh yes. Okay, fine. You want to look at your team?
I want to see yours too. I never get to look at it.
Here is Ratcher Time, which is like the most forced pun on Adventure Time I've ever heard because it doesn't even fit.
Tristan was like, "Why didn't you just name it Ratventure Time?" And you're like, "All right, I need them to die now," and they have been indestructible ever since.
So BMO is ridiculous. It's a strength 3, agi 5, 2 heads, wrestle, strip ball, got a runner. I mean, all he really needs is tackle, and no ball is safe. And
yeah.
Already no ball is safe.
Yeah, already no ball is safe.
Pretty solid blitzers.
The 2 heads was horns now, but you know what? You can't have everything.
Nope. Can't have everything. We do have an agi 2 dirty player guard line rat, which I think is the most awkward player on the team.
It never dies. Like, you can't fire it. It's very useful, but at the same time, I just want it to die.
Yep, because you don't want to fire him, but you just want him gone. Yeah, I mean, my team
now I just need to start winning games. I had a terrible season for that.
Here's an awful Nurgle team. It has one good player, and this is the only reason why I've won some games this season, and like the only reason why the team isn't retired, I think. This Pestigore is incredible, and I won a bunch of like bash mirrors where I was down like several hundred TV this season by just like agi 5 sacking the ball with him and then yeeting the ball down the field for 3 turns in a row. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, they just left a cage corner open. I was like, okay, gonna blitz it, and then like next turn we pick up the ball, throw it down the field, chase after it, pick it up, throw it down the field, do that like 3 turns in a row to make it so they don't score. And
I like that you have more than twice as many stat breaks as you do stat ups.
Yep.
That's nice.
Hepatitis B drill is a cursed player or cursed name because it keeps dying or getting. This was a brand new Nurgle War. I lost 3 Nurgle Warriors to dead. Not even like stat busts, just like dead in the first 4 games of the season.
He's played 6 games and has 2 perms.
Yep. Welcome to my life. I had 3 Nurgle Warriors die, like death, no regen, in the first 4 games of the season, and by the time I finally got back up to 4 Nurgle Warriors, because I had no money and it took me forever to replace them, I had 3 rookies, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're averaging a permanent every 2 games, so you know, soon you will have caught them all.
Last season, I averaged more than 1 death per game.
Nice. With my chaos, I was in that ballpark as well.
It's just the problem where like your team is so bad that you can't like defend anybody because you need this like 2 players to do everything, so they end up getting exposed, or like other players are like, well, he's the rookie, I guess he goes up front, and then they die.
Didn't Cheese win his division, or am I thinking of some? Oh, I think Hindi won his division. One of the meme coaches won games.
It's bad.
I don't think it was Cheese.
Nido Kidney Disease the 5th was Nido Kidney Disease the 2nd, I think, at the end of last season. Just so everybody's aware. I finally got Hepatitis B drill block, and then what?
Are you keeping them?
Oh yeah. If I was gonna get rid of them, I would have gotten rid of them 2 seasons ago when they were arguably worse than this. We finally got tackle. Like last game or 2 games ago, we leveled this guy for the first tackle this team has had all season, and then he immediately got MNG'd, which is great. Yep, we've got a really good Nurgle Warrior, even though he's armor 8 and movement 3, and we've got a good ball carrier, and then the rest of the team is sad. Man, my favorite annoying thing about this team is Bulbonic Plague the 4th, my like killer blitzer down there.
Yeah, Cheese won his division 8-3-2. Let's just shut down the league. I think we're done. I think Blood Bowl is a dead game.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So this Pestigore got armor busted in his first game as a rookie, and I was like, well, okay, I guess we're just firing him because I don't really want to carry an armor 7 blitzer around when I could just buy another one, but I couldn't afford one yet, so I had to keep him for like 2 games, and he ate MVP in both of those games.
Awesome.
So he has played. I need to find. Where can I find the stats?
It's GP. It's on the front page. Main page.
No, no, I want for that player, not me.
GP. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth, you doofus. Go to your team.
Yeah.
And look at GP column.
So he has played 13 games now, and he has 5 MVPs, I think. 4, something like that. Like, so he just kept eating MVPs and kept leveling, and I was like, well, I can't get rid of him because he's my only Pestigore with skills. And the whole plan was to fire him after 2 games, and now he's here and has leveled 3 times, is the story of him, and I hate him so much.
It's fair.
Ugh. Anyway, that's the team. Now can I stop?
Yeah.
Are you happy now?
About as happy as when I started.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, bright white light.
Yes.
Here's the tipping comp results. I beat you.
You did it. Oof, that is bright.
I get my title back.
Proud of you.
Although we did end up finishing finally in the oh, this is kind of broken. You should be higher. I think the points added up wrong there. It should fix when I refresh the page. Yeah, there we go. So you're slightly closer.
Sweet.
I did beat you, but we both did end up in positive points in both divs, which means that we're not total morons, I think. Although at the very last week, Locus had a very good last couple weeks and ended up taking the total points overall. So Locus Cosecant wins our little predicting competition.
Look, Unseen Walker is feeling bad for your team. Just re-roll. Go play goblins. It's what you've always wanted to do.
It's what I will do as soon as I do re-roll them. So Locus can call himself Wonder Twin C for next season if he wants to. Well, we'll give him that right, having won the predicting competition. But more importantly, I get to be Wonder Twin A.
I mean, we're spared the embarrassment of Fed never changing his name to Wonder Twin C. So
that's true. Well, your lead didn't change very much. Like, you're still roughly the same points you were at. Locus just did very well and stole it. Yeah, so that's us for this season. Thanks very much for hanging out over the last 13, 14 weeks. Hope you guys had a good time and we didn't scare you off of recappers or let us, convince them to let us do this again next year. I will certainly try to get a hold of some playoff casts, especially if they're from coaches in our divs. So feel free to come check out our casts if you happen to like us. I hope you didn't hate our recaps too much. I assume we'll be back next season. We'll find out. Who knows? Maybe Blood Bowl will die.
No, I need to keep ratting. Eventually my team will be too good and it will carry me to victory, I think.
I mean, you did declare that Blood Bowl was a dead game with Cheese having won, so maybe we won't be back next season.
I mean, maybe I'll be back in Div 3 and I can have the cheese treatment.
That's true. I might end up in Div 3, actually. I did so bad this season.
If we end up in the same division... Oh, God, who do I have to bribe? It's Metal. I'm going to go bribe Metal.
I think it's Herringzord, actually, but...
Herringzord is my clan leader. I can't bribe him, technically.
Although
also,
he
has things like Scruples, and Metal is, scrupulous?
Lacking of scruples.
Devoid of scrupes.
No scrupes. Gots no scrupes. But do we really need to do that? I mean, you would just win. Look at your team and look at my team and then tell me which of those teams wins.
I think we need to do it, yes. I would like a bye week.
You would win like 4-0. Like, it's not even that. It's not even fun.
It's not fun for you. Blood Bowl is a zero-sum game where fun is concerned. Most games aren't. Anyway,
we'll see you hopefully next season if they'll let us do this again. Thanks for being with us for the last several weeks. We will see you next season. And until then, I'm in Steakmittens.
And I'm Shadorra.
See you folks in playoffs.